and it is January the 21st, 2025. And we are here to share some very insightful information with you that my wife put together, just a short live broadcast. And I'm going to double check just to make sure we are live, because you know how that goes. The question is always, are we really live? So we'll go to our channel. Boom, 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 boom. And yes, we are live. You there? Mm-hmm. Gosh, I wish we still looked that young. On our way. On our way. Okay. Anyway, so we are here on Vincent's site there. Quick protest. A Catholic church will start Noahide classes on January 27, 2025.
He's asking you to email them. This is Vincent Bruno's site. I have done a lot of interviews with Vincent in the past. We have done them.
Yes.
We kind of don't have the same opinions of many things, but I have to tell you that Vincent is very comprehensive when it comes to Noahide laws, and I would say probably the most comprehensive website.
Yes, for the information.
So if you want information on what's new in Noahide Law area, that's the website. And how you get there,
stopnoahidelaw.blogspot.com.
Yes. So anyway, Steve, I don't know, he must have this, usually has a link there.
Oh, for his website?
No, sorry.
Oh, to look at the same thing deeper?
Yes.
Okay, so it's got on here, sign the petition, quick protest. The St. Louis de Montfort Catholic Church in New York is going to start holding classes on Noahide Law January 27, 2025. Their email is below. Please contact them and tell them what you think there. Let's see, understanding the Noahide Law is the foundation. This is what they put out, a foundation for everyone, young and old. All are welcome. Beginning Monday evening, and of course the same date again, classroom across from the chapel at St. Louis de Montfort Church, Sound Beach, New York.
I would go to this class if I was in New York. I would. Because
I would to see what they're up to.
Yeah, and I would ask questions. So if you are in New York, please, and you can attend it, go attend it, just to kind of make videos over there, what they're talking about, because I would like to kind of listen and then directly confront them.
Right.
Yes.
Because
Catholic Church did sign agreement with the Jews of Jerusalem about Noahide laws.
Yes.
That they're going to teach their flock Noahide laws, and for the longest time it was quiet, kind of, but now look what they're doing.
Exactly. Making it very plain that it's coming. Yes. And definitely on the way there. By the way, too, the interview I did with Liz on Freemasonry, we're actually going to re-record that. That's going to be airing on Patreon, but we decided to re-record that broadcast there, so it'll be about another week before we actually release that. So just wanted to update you guys on that, what happened. Anyway, Trump's inauguration prayer given by a rabbi with a PhD in Noahide Law. The prayer had Noahide buzzwords.
I guess they didn't say out the word Noahide, but everything around it, probably peace and justice and one God.
Let's take a quick peek at it. Oh, looky there.
Site can be reached. You kidding? Why?
Well, I thought they have here video or the prayer.
Yes, and he has a PhD in Noahide Law.
I know, but you see what I'm saying? You can't even get to that prayer now. That's kind of odd.
That's probably, they are trying to hide some. I mean, they're not hiding it from a rabbi's point of view. They're extremely open right now. They're telling you out very openly that this is their agenda for future, okay?
Right.
But when it comes to Trump and Christians, evangelicals and leaders, they're trying to hide it from the flocks that it's actually about Noahide Law.
I got you.
And I don't know why, but I guess I know why.
Because
that would be an outrage.
Stirred it up so much.
That would be an outrage, right? Well, I think there should be an outrage. I mean, we should definitely be on the lookout for this. This is like walking into a trap, walking into a suicide. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
You know, I'm working right now. I've been working on it for several days since I sent you that little message so you'd remind me to look at it. And I think I have finally put together what the scriptures are. You're going to be shocked to find out why the Noahide Laws are really coming. It's almost prophetic. And it has everything to do with the rejection of Jesus Christ. Can you imagine
And it
that?
will fulfill Luke gospel where it says that we will be betrayed by our own inner faith, because this is what's going to happen.
Wow.
They're going to be betraying each other.
You're going to have to send me that one too, because I didn't even think about that, but I got to find where you're talking about on that one. That's interesting.
And what's scary, because, you know, when we look at political situation, and honestly, I'm so sick of politics that just to keep my mind sane, I don't even look at it sometimes. I have days that I just refuse, you know. But problem with this, Steve, is that of course Trump is better than Biden, right? Of course. I mean, who likes Democrats, right?
Well,
I mean, but
all right, wait a minute. Now, I understand what you mean. I do.
you know, there is a little
That's
more hope with
yes,
Trump, but
economy-wise,
it's a trap.
Yeah, that's where the
It's a
problem
trap,
is. That's where
right.
the problem is.
Right.
I mean, really, the only difference is for a little while they appease the Democrats, and a little while they appease the Republicans. They still have the same agenda.
Well, they both support the Jewish state. They both give them money. They both are signing Noahide laws on yearly basis with 10 rabbis, Chabad rabbis around them. So that in that way, it doesn't matter. Trump is better for maybe, you know, American people like their sovereignty, their economy. They like to be leaders of the world and free world and all these
And lower
good stuff,
taxes
you know
for
what I mean?
businesses,
yeah,
things
like
like that.
this type
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
So of course Trump is better for that, but there is a side of Trump, and it's that side that he won the Kabbalah award, that his son-in-law is a Chabad Jew, that his daughter has converted to Chabad Judaism, which is probably the head of the snake.
Yeah.
And you know, and he is just doing everything for Israel, anything for Israel. And even though he says now about this Gaza deal, right? He's saying he's going to stop all wars. So we all want to hear this, right? But then look at what they did to Gaza. Look at the genocide. Look how everybody just accepted it. Nobody really cares. Christians have accepted it, right? And now Trump is having words like, oh, Gaza has the best location at the beach.
Oh yeah. Now they're looking at prime
yes.
real estate.
Yes.
They wipe.
Yes.
Look, it's no different. Look, you guys are moaning and groaning when the fires burned down Los Angeles, and everybody's talking about BlackRock is coming in and buying up property, prime real estate. They burned us all out. You moan and groan about that, and rightfully so.
Yes.
What's the difference in leveling Gaza, but they did it with bombs? In this case here, no regard for life whatsoever. And by the way, Brother Billy sent me a photo from Los Angeles his friend took with the blue laser coming down.
Whoa.
And at first I didn't show it, and then Deborah Tavares on the program with us, which Deborah's coming back on again here. I think Friday is when we're having her on.
Okay.
And Deborah was talking about the blue lasers, and I'm like, oh my gosh! I'm like, this is really the real thing, right? It's nuts, but that's what they're doing. They just wipe the people out so they can have prime real estate.
Exactly, because they have plans from a very, very long time ago, Steve. They don't plan it's not a 5-year plan like communists used to have. I was a little girl in a communist country, and we always had these meetings where they showed us 5-year plan, you know. And meetings, as far as school meetings, they kind of always involve children in communism, and they would show Soviet plan, 5-year plan. This is like they plan, and I'm talking about decades, 100 years ahead.
Yes.
They have or 30 years ahead.
Yeah,
And they have
they're
this
way
plan,
ahead
and
of
then they're
time.
going by the plan. So that's what's going on here, that Gaza you will see what they will do. Trump is saying now that it has the best weather, it's the prime location. So it just tells you they want this now with this Silk Road an initiative. They're going to rebuild the Middle East, Greater Israeli Project, and they're going to make these beautiful hotels there. And who will own them? Well, Kushner.
Yeah, and by the way, another reason for them getting rid of Gaza is right there at the very tip of the northern part of Gaza is the Ashkelon port that the Chinese are building. They hadn't even started that project yet. That is for the Silk Road Initiative. They need to expand space. They need place for warehouses.
Okay, listen, time to come out of closet for Trump. Why does he want Greenland? Or whatever that is.
Oh yes, no, not just Greenland, but he wants Canada. He's talking about Canada being one of our states, right?
He wants a Panama Canal.
Right.
Says that's for security.
Is anybody? How many people are asleep at the wheel? Right. I hear this, and today on John's program, they're talking about this becoming a state, and I couldn't get a word in there because I had to go remote. I was losing signal. I was trying to deal with so many things this morning because the weather's so cold, and John knew that I was going to have these problems at the time. But anyway, they're talking about it, right? And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, has everybody fell asleep at the wheel?
Yeah.
Did they forget about the
North American Union?
Yeah, the North American Union. Canada, the United States, and Mexico all become one big happy family, like, as my wife said, the European Union.
Yes, and they already printed the Amero. And when did we talk about, Steve, this? 10 years ago? That's what I'm saying. The plans are made decades ahead. It's not...
But with Trump does it, it's like, hey,
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right. Because he just knows how to.
Wait a minute! I thought he was going to deport all the Mexicans back to Mexico. Actually, it wasn't even Mexicans. I don't want to fault the Mexican people. They're wonderful people and everything.
And their
it wasn't
food is
Mexicans
good, right?
coming across the southern border.
Right.
It was Middle Eastern guys, and I'm not trying to beat up on them either. But they were coming here for a different purpose. Chinese were coming here. Everything.
Yes, and
but it's okay. We're going to be in Amero.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Maybe that's how they get rid of our debt.
They have plans, Steve, and they're going by that, and they have to lie to people like they had to lie about October 7. They had to lie. They're using religious language to persuade Christians in America, those who are completely blind and can think for themselves critically, right? Yeah. That killing all the Palestinians is a good thing in the name of God. So
that's sad. I still, even today, I was hearing, and it just curled my blood to think that these people have no right to life.
No, and there will never be justice until Christ does the justice, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Netanyahu made Hamas. He made the organization, created the organization. Yes. They're really, by the way, this is the Muslim Brotherhood that Obama started. They're not even, most of those guys that were part of Hamas are not even Palestinians. They bust the guys in.
And not to mention how many Christians are there. And then they destroy Christian churches. They destroy Christianity. Yeah. And that's okay with American Christians.
And Israel is doing that. They did it in Lebanon. What do they do? Blow up churches, mosques. They didn't care. Mainly churches. They were wiping out churches everywhere they go. I'm talking about ancient. Even their entire... And right there in the Lebanon's town on the water there that had been destroyed years ago, they're out there leveling it. They leveled one of the oldest churches in the world right there entire. Israel has no regard whatsoever. And we even saw Isaiah 17 literally come to pass before our eyes. It's taken away from being a city. And the fortress for Ephraim, which was the last great president of Syria, Bashar al-Assad. And I'm not saying the man has got some white robe, so cleansing feet, but I guarantee you one thing, he cared about Christian people. One of the only leaders in that country that cared about Christians was Bashar al-Assad and his wife as well. So
anyway, it's all just a theater to get to their plan of one world government and one religion out of Jerusalem, ran out of Jerusalem, which will be all about Judaism, the only religion, and for the Gentiles, it will be Noahidism. That's what it is.
And one thing I want to say too, a lot of people now are talking about Noahide laws, and we are so happy for that. But, one thing I want you guys to remember, and we're going to talk about this at the end of the broadcast here. My wife really, not the first one to bring it out, but she's the one that really got, through her research, made the Noahide laws become such a thorn in the side of the New World Order that they come after our family to take us out. And my father-in-law, he paid a price for something he had nothing to do with himself. Our son is doing an amazing job on exposing this. I shared the other day a little bit of that video there. I'm going to put it in the link for you again. We're going to show a clip of what he's doing there. He's very articulate, and we're talking about a young man, 21 years old. He's not afraid to get the public documents and all their discourse between each other. And when you see the evidence that he is putting together, it is a shame on American judicial system, a absolute shame. We've already been hearing this
on doctors,
on doctors as well.
What can happen to you? And if you don't speak up, like with us over this, then if it happens to you, nobody will speak up for you either.
And by the way,
So
I haven't put the video
just
up yet, but I do want to let people know, if you go to Fact News Network, it's actually on iConnect, and it's on our website, IsraeliNewsLive.org. My wife did an interview with Dr. Liz Thompson, and she is a pharmacist. She's many, many years as a pharmacist, and she really goes into the medical treatment that Carrie Madej prescribed. I was shocked because, according to Dr. Farr, who is the basic founder of peroxide IV therapy, he is the pioneer of this treatment. Carrie Madej used
4 times.
4 times greater than what he did. I won't say too much here because I don't want us to get flagged on the channel here. But it's an amazing interview. It's on Fact News Network, the 30-second
It's amazing
clip.
we have survived, Steve. I mean, people don't realize what we went through as a family, but it's really difficult on me because it was my father. And of course, unless it's somebody you love, it's hard to really have empathy and understand and put yourself to other person's shoes. Maybe that's why I literally cried nights for Palestinians, Steve, because I know how it feels when somebody murders your loved one in front of you and then you don't get justice for it.
And they will never get justice, sadly enough, too.
So it is very, very difficult
and live in PTSD
to live that way.
Done.
That's really difficult. So that's why please share the video of my son, because we are never going to stop for honor of my father to talk about it or seek justice. Right.
And you'll see from that interview there the details of all the crimes that were committed. All the doctors are spoken about there. So
he's about to, just the first video, he's about to explode it and show all evidence.
Yeah, here we go. It happened, Noahide Law in USA public schools. Vincent, you did a great job putting this together here.
Well, now they're getting brave. You know how in schools you can't talk about Jesus, Christianity? And I know because I used to work a few years back at the high school. I was teaching biology, and I just there's no way you can talk religion of any kind. So how did this rabbi get his foot in and started talking to children about Noahide laws in public school? So it's kind of so weird. Let's see if that video is still up there. Chabad just kind of boasts about.
Isn't a problem if I said one of the 7 is to believe in God? Is that something we're not allowed to say in a public school?
No, that is not true.
Okay. I shared with them that they don't need to be Jewish. They should just be a good person. And I had all the kids together say, just be a good person. We learned about the 7 laws of Noah here.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And that, again, when we're looking at diversity and inclusion, man, we have to understand culture and why, just like we learned about the Quakers.
If I stood up and said, you all have to believe in God, that might be an issue. But if I said, Judaism believes that as long as people believe in God and are a good person, that's good, that would be fine.
That would be fine.
Right.
See what I mean? I mean, they are
They
just
got a loophole.
yeah, they're just
Be
getting
Jewish.
in
They
there,
should
and
just-
you know the Chabad organization. It's a mega cult, by the way. It's a mega cult.
Try going in there
Yeah.
and say that about Jesus.
Yeah, try that.
I challenge you, right? I
Yes.
challenge you. Go in
Yeah,
there
let's see.
and say, do the same thing he did.
Yes.
You know, say, you know, as Christians, we believe in Jesus, but we
And
just want you to be
he's
a
God
good
in
person.
flesh, and he is. Let's see if we can do this. And
Oh,
yes,
gee,
in public
Nettie,
schools,
Jana, I tell you what.
Isn't that
Okay,
horrible?
let's see what this other one is.
they just.
Is
Oh,
that a
look,
menorah
right.
behind you?
Absolutely, it's a menorah behind me.
I'm here at the Leeds Avenue School. We just had the opportunity to teach about 80 third graders about the holiday of Hanukkah. So how many kids that I spoke to were Jewish?
0.
So
We're Jewish.
why am I
And
teaching-
you also have Muslim students.
Muslim and Christian? And
Yes.
so why did we teach them about Hanukkah?
Because it is part of our curriculum, and it is infused into language arts, social studies, and as you see math, our multiplication menorah.
And show it to them.
Okay.
Yes.
So is
I
there
also took time
infused
to
with
teach
language
the children
studies
about the 7 laws of
Christianity?
Noah, and I shared with them that they don't need to be Jewish, they should just be a good person. Why should someone who's not Jewish learn about Hanukkah?
The same reason why we all learn about each other's cultures. It's about, as you said, Rabbi, being good people.
Is that your dad?
That's my dad right there.
Dan is like a foundational member of our shul.
Okay,
Is that a menorah?
foundational member of a shul, and Vincent brought out that he has this weird Muslim hat.
Yeah,
Like, I would like-
that is actually though also worn in Judaism as
Really?
well. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
it
So
is.
he brought him
It
into.
is actually more the people that normally wear that particular traditional garb. And I can tell you why, as a black man, why he's wearing that. They believe that there is a movement that they believe that they're the original Israelites.
Okay,
And so
okay.
from the Jews from Northern Africa, which my father was a descent of, and also from the Middle East, that is a very traditional garb
Mm-hmm.
that they would wear for their kippah, you would say, or head covering. It's only the Ashkenazi that wear more of like a moon top, like the Catholic Church does.
I am sure he didn't tell the children, by the way, if you don't keep the law in our traditions, you're supposed to die by beheading.
Yeah, that was definitely not included.
Right, exactly.
But did you notice, though, Judaism comes underneath this nice little heading of culture.
I know. It comes under heading of everything,
You know,
religion, culture,
listen,
everything. But Christianity is always
Why not have
pushed away.
Christianity as a culture then? What's wrong with that? You know?
No, you can't. You can't talk
No,
about Jesus
you're
because
right.
you're going to insult the Jews. What if there are Jewish students there, and then you can't? You see?
Okay, so just for the record here, we are Jews, Protestant. No, I won't say that. But, you know, I'm just...
Anyway.
All right,
so,
here we go again. Argentina news site says President Javier Milei has a Noahide background.
Well, the reason I brought this out is that Argentina has a Jewish president, and it's kind of really strange. He's a Chabad organization Jew, and he is leading Argentina, and Jews, Israel has a very big interest in Argentina, okay, and the entire Patagonia as well.
Right.
I mean, if you do research on this, it's really big. We would have to have like a separate study on this because it's very weird, but watch out because they are putting presidents in those countries like Ukraine, Zelensky. Oh, he said he's going to make out of Ukraine, Israel. So it goes beyond this greater Israeli project, Steve.
Yeah.
They are trying to actually gain the countries, control of the countries.
Exactly, yes.
By putting in Jewish presidents in formerly Christian countries.
If they take and they make this North American Union, as they're going to do anyway, it'll make it easier to bring about Noahide laws as a whole.
Yes, of
and,
course.
And totally bypass all these presidents.
Yes, it's what's coming is absolutely insane, and people have no idea that they're aiding this. The Christians are aiding this by their support and their wrong theology. That they're, they don't think when they are citing Bible verses, they're just like parroting what their preacher tells them without thinking.
You know what I really like, and this is, it's on topic but off topic. I'm sitting there looking at Milei, right? And I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Stephen and Joey Milei, two
Oh,
very good
goodness,
friends, very
Steve.
good brothers in Christ. Italians, that's the Malay is an Italian name, and they have been Italians their whole life. Their family was Catholic, but then they became born-again Christians and later in life. But when Steve Malay did a DNA, he said they had a little tiny percentage of Jewish in him, and I loved his response. Oy vey. It was like a curse for him to find that out.
Anyway, that's funny. So you're bringing up something like that. But anyway. Anyway, did I prepare anything else? I didn't remember.
That was it.
That was it. Okay. Well, we said it's going to be very short chat.
Yeah.
And anyway, I would like to show my son's video.
Yes, let's get over there to
go to
Ethan's.
Israeli News Live YouTube and please help us with sharing his videos. He's going to speak very openly about what happened to his grandfather. He's a direct witness of what happened, and it is extremely difficult to deal with when you know what I mean. It's just for the sake, if you don't feel for us as how it really feels when you watch murder of your family and then nothing is resolved, right? Nobody cares. But the thing is, Steve, public is not safe with doctors like this.
No, it's not. It's not. It's really not.
It really is horrible. Or with district attorneys like this.
Yes.
Because the reason they don't prosecute, they told us that Kerry Madej committed crime of homicide and crime of aggravated assault. Imagine she went to my father's room. I was in bed with fever. I couldn't overlook it. And she goes to his room and gives him these poisonous substances. And he knows no better. He's in bed. He's 80 years old. He trusts me and us that, Carrie's a doctor and a friend. And the thing is, Steve, that she uses needle as her weapon, and then she just leaves our house and denies what happened.
Right.
Right.
And I know we have to be careful about what we say here because of the sensitivity of YouTube, and I don't want to violate.
Well, we have already talked about her before.
Right.
But anyway, this is my son Ethan, our son.
I want to say something about Ethan on here too that I didn't say before. I really appreciate the in-depth work that he does. I mean, you would think he's an attorney if you didn't know him. See him in this video right here. If you just talk to him on a phone or something like that and you listen to the depths of what he does, the requesting of the public records, going through all those public records, and then finding all these different correspondence between attorneys and DAs and things like that, and then just see how corrupt the system really is.
Horrible.
I mean, he has done work. I mean, he ought to be working in a law firm.
He's not stopping either because he loved his grandpa and they were extremely close since his birth. His grandpa took care of him. The only reason we even could do ministry, Steve,
is because
at the
of your
time
dad.
is my dad was our babysitter. Literally, he would prepare food and care for our children.
Far more than a babysitter. He was truly a family member.
Yes.
And he pitched in, and he was the one that took care of not only the kids, the animals, everything.
Just his love, and it was always five of everything for us because he was such a member of our family, lived in our home, cooked in our kitchen, and ate with us at the table. And Ethan grew up with him, so this type of tragedy for him is heartbreaking, and he is not going to stop seeking justice.
Right, and a double tragedy for the entire family, and more so too, even for you and for Ethan and Ariella, is the fact that, and myself as well, but I see the pain that they go through, and my wife above all people, and that is because a justice system, as you mentioned, that actually admitted that she had committed a crime, an aggravated assault. Two pathologists clearly identified it as a homicide with toxic substance used in there, and named those substances that were used, peroxide and ozone, in this.
And then the district attorney of Morgan County, Tennessee, writes us a letter, a very unprofessional letter, which we will publish.
Oh, yeah.
And he says that you are a flat earther, and that's why they're not going to prosecute. Does it make sense? Can it happen in the United States of America, sovereign, best country in the world? How does that happen? Well, it's happening to our family. And I know how it is when, people just kind of, literally we are asking you, and will be asking you, and he will be asking you, please, those who care, why don't you write to Morgan County District Attorney and ask him, how can this even happen?
Right.
Okay, so
they deserve that pressure.
Yeah,
and I really
exactly.
encourage you to subscribe to his channel. He's going to be doing some very good presentations. You'll be able to know in detail all those that were involved in this case here, how our family was duped. We were lied to.
gaslighted.
Well, there's
lied
another thing
to.
that you
It's
use in an
horrible.
expression, though, that they have done.
Defrauded us.
Yes.
Doctors defrauded us and gaslighted us, and basically it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah. So
And
take the
they
time.
are still holding licenses, excluding Kerima. They of course gave up her own and became sovereign citizen.
In fact, Sherry asked, "Is that why she gave up her license?" Well,
And
it
Sherry
seems to be
Tenpenny, Sherry
obvious.
Tenpenny is hosting her still, while she fully knows everything, and they're pretending like nothing happened. I am blown away.
Yeah.
How these so-called freedom doctors are all infiltrators, and it's all a lie. They're all about their fame, money, and it's horrible.
And by the way, when
Yes.
another video too, besides what Ethan did, and I'll just briefly mention this one here, is the interview that I did just recently with Billy Cranford in the plane crash.
Okay.
He doesn't mention Carrie's name in there, but he's the pilot of the plane crash she was in. What's important about that video there is clearly the discrepancy of what Carrie had put out there. And the reason for this here is so that you know she's just not trustworthy. She's lying in every direction you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to go back and look at that as well. I think it's just called Billy
I
Cranford
think
Plane Crash.
Ethan is going to keep bringing out every detail of
I'm going to
everything,
play just
so-
a little clip here, a little further in than I did last time. I'll put the link after the video ends. I'll put it in there for you to be able to see.
That they would treat him. These two physicians proceeded to illegally experiment on my grandfather by administering IVs of ozone saline and plain ozone gas directly into my grandfather's veins, continued the IV hydrogen peroxide that the first physician prescribed for my grandfather, and they would eventually perform an illegal non-cross-matched blood transfusion in a hotel room where they treated him at. My grandfather...
So I don't want to play too much because I don't know how much I can get away with. Ethan may be able to more so on his channel because he's got a fairly new channel. But they are always looking. They just removed 2 of our videos, and one of them had to do, was on another channel. I put it up there to see how it would go, and they took it down and said it was violation of... You can't tell the truth. They don't want nobody telling the truth.
So
That's really what
hard.
it comes down to. So...
All
But
right.
subscribe. I'll
Thank
put the
you.
link in there in just a few minutes. We thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support of the broadcast. And, just go to our website, IsraeliNewsLive.org. You can donate there online. You can also join Patreon. That's another way to support the broadcast there. And also on iConnect. There's always an easy link there to be able to donate on there as well. We really appreciate it. And certainly... with all the mounting legal costs that we deal with in this case here, your support is more important now than ever. Thank you and God bless you.